So this guy hits me up on a dating site, and he says his name is Link Williams, and he's in the military. And he sends me all these different pictures of him in his khakis, in his dress uniform, with him in front of soldiers and stuff. And he's over in Afghanistan right now fighting. And when he comes back, he's coming to California, blah, blah, blah. And he's a widower. So in the conversation, he tells me that he has a teenage son. And I said, oh, well, who's taking care of your son if you're over in Afghanistan? And he said, he's at a boarding school in Washington, D.C. So then this is like in the old days of webcamming, when you could see pictures, but there was no sound usually attached to it. So he said, how about we webcam tomorrow night at like 8 o'clock or whatever? So we go on, and there he is, and it's real grainy. And it's him, and he's moving around and everything, and he's in his army clothes, but the background is floral wallpaper. So we're texting as I'm looking at this webcam, and I text, give me a smile, and he never smiled at me. And the more I watched it, the more I realized it was a loop, because he would move a little bit, and then he'd do it again. Okay, but I'm still naive to a certain extent. I'm going to give this guy a benefit of the doubt. I'm going to see what happens. So the next day he texts me and he says, I really would love to have a picture of you. Why don't you take a picture and put it in a frame that I could put by my desk? And I would also like to listen to some of your favorite music. Why don't you send it to me on an iPod? And then I could listen to music that you like, and I will feel closer to you. So I had one of those iPod Nanos that are like the size of a postage stamp, and I wasn't using it. So I put a bunch of songs on it, and I had an old picture. I put it in a little frame, and I put it in a box that wasn't more than maybe 4x6 box. It was a real small box. And I thought, what the heck? So I said, where do I send this? And I'm thinking he's going to give me an APO address, right? It was a weird name. I can't remember it. In Nigeria, where he wants me to send it. Why am I sending it there? Why don't I just send it, through the military mail? He says, well, we've just had a lot of problems with security. And if you send it to this guy, I really trust him. He will send it. So I put it in this little box. I get the address, and I go down to my Mail It Quick place. And the only service that will send it to this address is DHL. And they wanted $400, right? So I come back and I go, I'm not mailing that to you. It's going to cost me $400. Never heard from him again.